Hello everyone, and welcome back to So Many Games Little Time. My name is Joachim, and I'm here with
Evangelos.
as usual.
Yes.
So, today we're going to do 20 to 11 of our top 100. Like I said in the previous video, there's going to be a big reveal or whatever in the last video. That's not this video. So, I suggest we just get started. Last time I started, so now you start.
On the first roll
Is one of my favorite series of games, the T series.
Aha.
Yes. And number 20 is Tekkenu.
I was going to say Tillatum or whatever.
No, not Tillatum. Tekkenu is where the theme really works. It's really awesome, and it's got that. Have you played it?
No.
As the obelisk in the middle.
Yeah. Because it came out at the same time as Two and the other one.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember that because
Yes.
that's how I remembered both those games.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this one's fun. And it just has the idea of the shadows, the casting a shadow. So it's a dice drafting system.
Yeah.
And you put the dice in certain areas according to the numbers. And the shadow decides where the dice will go.
Yeah.
And also, if you take it from a shaded area, you get a penalty. If you take it from a lighted area, you get positive. So it's like the seesaw effect of you trying to get your, the theme of the scales. So you can get your scales right. And you take a dice from a certain area, and you can use that area's power.
Is it by David Tucci?
Well, he helps with it. He's also famous for using the solos, right? He's a great solo designer. The's the go-to for the solos. That's by Ticini, my favorite designer.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And he just, there's something about the T series. I love the ancient themes, which is why I'm disappointed about Tillatum. Because, the theme is kind of pasted on. You could have made it anything, so why make it again?
Yeah.
I'm not going to start ranting about Tillatum. But Tekkenu, it's just that dice drafting, it just works so well.
Yeah.
And the expansion is really good too. Yeah, the T series just hits that right, as I said, the right spot for me. It's like my happy spot, which is not overly complicated. It is for some people. They say it might be too heavy, but for me, it's the right sense of heaviness, and I just enjoy that world it creates. So,
just to add a dad joke comment, is there also a T series game about tea?
No, that's China. It's not as heavy though.
Oh no. Not at all.
China's not as heavy as the T series.
My number 170 or something.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so my number 20 then, right?
Yes.
It used to be number 1 2 years ago. Then it's number 4, and now it's my number 20.
So you hate it?
Oh, it sucks.
What is it?
Do you know what it is? It used to be my number 1.
Oh, Seasons.
Seasons. Yes, Seasons.
Why would Seasons drop so much?
It's been on my number 1 for years, and it dropped so much because there's so many good games that I just think they make me happier when I play them.
Do you think it would be good a bit higher if it had a solo mode? Because this game came out before solo.
There is a solo mode on BGG.
Is it official?
I haven't tried it yet.
Is it official?
No, but people say it's good, but I haven't tried it yet. But it's just I know Seasons. I know Seasons. Even if I were able to play solo, it wouldn't change much.
Okay.
For me. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily bring it more to the table because I know Seasons. It's like an old friend. You don't, even if you don't see them for a year, you meet up again and everything is just fine.
Those dice.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really, really good.
No.
You're telling me yours is higher?
No. On my list.
Yeah, exactly. But the dice are amazing. The cards are amazing. The combos you can do are amazing. The art is so beautiful. It's from Libelut, right? And they always make really, really nice games, beautiful games. And it was my first love. Honestly, I bought other games, but when Seasons, that was just the first time I was like, this game is what I want. Because when I started trying to design games, I did a couple, but none of them got published. Then some of my friends said, aren't you going to make a card game like Seasons? Because you're always raving about that. But then I haven't. I don't know why. But it's just so good. The different, because it's also fairly simple. You have 2 types of cards. You have either the familiars, so all creatures, or magic items, right? And then you roll the dice. The dice will tell you what you can do. You draft it. then you either take an extra card, or you increase your summoning gauge, which you have to do to play cards.
Yes.
And then you also, on the die, there will also be, most of the time, resources like air, wind, fire, and water. Yes. All those, which you can get on the fancy chips on BGG, the store.
Yes.
So you collect these, you have a maximum of 7, if I'm not mistaken, and then you spend them to play your cards, depending on the cost. And then you've got so many different cards doing so many different things. Some of the familiars are actually out there to mess with other players, if that's your kind of game. I don't really care about that, to be honest. But yeah, it's just
The
it's just
drafting
cool.
as well.
Yeah, because in the beginning you draft 9 cards, and then you have to choose. You start with 3. The other 3 you put under the second year marker, and the other 3 on the 3rd year marker. So you know which cards are coming. You can look at them at any time, and then the maximum of cards you can put out is 15. So you know already you're going to put out 9, and then those other ones might come through the dice or through card play, and then
The only thing is, it's a difficult entry level.
It is.
Especially it can be overwhelming for a first time player.
It is.
Because not only you have to draft the right cards, but then also decide which order you put them in.
Yeah.
It can be a little daunting.
But if that person you're playing with is a fan of really beautiful games, then my experience is they won't mind as much because they're really eager too. They already enjoy it a lot by looking at the different art and everything, and then it is a high degree, like you said, the first game they're going to be bad.
Yeah.
But then the second and third game they'll get better, and most of the time they want to play again because it doesn't take that long to play either. There's not much AP because the AP is just choosing a die.
And the draft die draft.
Yeah, the draft in the beginning. Yeah,
and the dice has a draft and the dice too.
Yeah, but then, the highest AP is when you're first player.
No, I'm saying it's so much fun.
Fun,
It's just so many different mechanisms.
And you can sell your
Combined
energy as well, depending on the season, because it's called seasons. There's 4 seasons on the track. So other energy is more prevalent in different seasons and so on.
So you could always argue there's too many things going on, but they all work.
Yeah.
They're all fun.
Yeah, and like I said, it went down to 20. It is a shame. I could easily put it back on number 1, but I think it's also because of Cult of the New. Like I said, it's an old friend. You know they're there.
I wish there were more expansions.
Well, there's already 2 of them, and basically the only thing people want is more cards because they always try to tack things on, like extra, like things that change the game, which is not necessary. Just the die that you choose to roll instead of your action. It's okay to like change it up from now and again, but people just want more cards. Basically, that's it. But that is my number 20 seasons.
Are you ready for number 19?
So number 19 used to be number 13, but went down 6 places. It's now 19, and that is X-Odus, The Rise of the Corruption. Space game where you and potentially 3 other people control a co-op game, not competitive, just co-op, where you control a ship. You have different types of ships, I think 6 ships with different powers. And then the corruption is obviously rising. So you want to stop them. And to stop them, you have to find 3 keys that are spread around the universe. You don't know where. You have to explore the universe. Okay. And then when you find them, or the galaxy, I guess, you find them, and then you have to go back to a portal and then basically put them in the lock and close it. Not like that, but more mystical. And the cool part is the ships have multiple upgrades. The bottom ones are always permanent upgrades. The other ones are like powers that you spend energy on. You have your shields. You have the enemies that you fight with. But after a certain point, as the corruption rises, the Guardians, I think they're called, might come out, which are really difficult ships. So you're going to be running away or ganging up with all of you together to hit that one. Because as ships, you can either go on your own, or you can like link up and then move together and then have a higher chance of completing certain things. Because you can also explore, and if it's an explore card, it might say, okay, you can do this and this, and if you're a scout, you can do this. And if you're a privateer, you can do this. So actually exploring with more people might be more beneficial. You also have allies that you can get. You can have gear that you can buy. Solo, it plays perfectly well. You can play with as many ships as you want. Most of the time you play with 2, of course. Otherwise it's kind of high upkeep. But then every game plays different because you can go in different directions. So yeah, basically Fractal Beyond the Void, that's their second game, which I think will be equally as good. And they're also Belgian people. So Belgian company, that's another reason. But that's not a reason why it's so high, but that's why I back it.
A lot of good designers coming out of there now.
Yeah. So yeah, that's X-Odus. Really, really enjoy it. And I think my winning ratio is like 50-50 as well. It's not an easy game either. If you mess around a bit too much, that's what they say, right? Mess around and find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the PG version. Okay,
Okay.
you're 19.
My number 19 is a crossover, and that's Tainted Grail.
Ah,
Yes. For everything you said, the storyline, the world building,
yeah.
the pure adventure of it. Though I will admit I had to house rule it. Because those menus were too grindy, especially when you're playing solo. It's just boring, and spending half an hour just to get the resources to do the menus. So the house rule I created was you have to pay to make them light up,
Yeah.
but they stay on all the time until you have to move to make a new one.
Yeah.
And you have to take out the furthest one.
Yeah.
That's the house rule.
Because I mean, even my limited play was already annoying. Like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to go back really soon.
I don't think this game would have been on this list if I played by the original rules.
Yeah.
It's just not fun to go just to grind.
One thing that is annoying as well, actually, is the minis, because the minis serve no purpose. It's just like, oh, there's a fight is over,
And they're so beautiful as well.
done. So basically, those minis are just there to display, actually.
Yeah.
Because they serve no purpose.
Same with Eater's Field.
Yeah.
And I can also argue maybe what is the negotiation one? The negotiation card system.
Yeah.
It's kind of derivative of the battle. It's kind of lame to have the two separate ones.
Yeah. I used to play an MMO that used that one. I think it was Vanguard, if anybody remembers that. And I used a similar system, and I loved that. But the MMO bombed so hard.
Oh,
So, yeah.
But
I really love that.
anyway, but the world, just to enter that world and the mystery behind the story and the way it pulls you in and your character. Did you play with the expansion that has the character side missions, the character development one?
Yes, I have it, but I didn't
I played with that.
play enough to use it.
I haven't played the expansions yet.
No.
I want to play them.
When we're 60 years old, we'll do it all, and then it'll be a number one on our list.
Yes, I guess it will be. And it's like, yeah, back to expansion, the new one. It's it's a fantastic project that they created, and let's hope they keep doing more of them, even though I won't play any of them.
It's just, for me, yeah, it's just also the theme. Just the theme.
It's just
The darkness.
the dark theme,
Yeah.
the less traditional characters, the flawed characters, the storytelling,
Yeah.
the art, just everything about it is amazing.
Number 18.
Also, kind of thematic game, and that's Mansions of Madness.
Yeah.
Have you played it?
I used to own it, but then I sold it. For various reasons. We played one mission that seemed impossible to do because we failed horribly. The miniatures really got on my nerves because they wouldn't stay in the bases and everything, or just didn't fit at all. And at one point I was just like, I'm done.
No, just the app integration is so good.
It was, yeah, but our experiences were not.
And the storytelling in the app brings in, and I don't know. It's just. I think it's just again interactive storytelling.
Yeah.
And you put the monsters in. I painted the whole set.
Well, I used to have the original one before the app, and you have to set up everything, the question marks, everything. That was a huge chore because nobody can see you set up.
Yeah.
So definitely with the app, it was way, way better. I agree with you. And sometimes I feel like maybe I should get it again because I did enjoy it, but
I wish we were solo too.
yeah.
But I wish they did more. I want more, even though they got so many expansions already.
There's a lot, yeah.
I wish no, not just expansion. I wish they sold more stories, independent stories, without using the app. I love the fact that the app can make the game every time you replay it, it's different, slightly different.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much more potential in app use in games. But as I said, with the integration of music, the voiceovers, the random
mini
monsters,
games,
some of them are more fun than others.
Yeah. Still, it's cool.
It's really good though.
Yeah.
It's just there's so much potential with app integration, and no, I think it's fun. That's why we're here, right? We're there to have fun, and that's one of them.
And by the way, the crossovers are at 11 with 18 to go, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be tight. You're 18. You're number 18.
That was mentioned, Amanda.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So it's yours now.
My number 18. You own as well. You haven't talked about it. Maybe you don't have it anymore, or maybe it's also higher, which would be good for my crossover list. Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. So.
How thought you sold it? So I thought you.
I almost did because I didn't bring it to the table enough. But then I brought it to the table again, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it because basically it's Warcraft the game. Yeah. And I played Warcraft 2 a lot when I was younger. I mean, I played StarCraft more, but Warcraft 2 a lot as well. I played World of Warcraft, and it's basically Warcraft the game. You have all the different factions there. You have a really nice system in where you decide to either use your serfs for actions or to follow people, right? Also, the different factions play very differently. You have the 3 resources, but it's one of those games where you have to attack to get points. Because if you don't attack, then you get nothing. So that's why I never win because I rarely attack.
Oh, you built it. You was building stuff.
Yeah, true. And I still remember the game that I absolutely loved, but that they nerfed it now because they nerfed sleep.
Yes, the sleep.
And at one point, I put so many people to sleep, and then went around boom, 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 and I was like, oh, this is not possible. But yeah, so you have a lot of resources, right? You have the crystals, you have the food, you have what is the last one? Gold, maybe? I don't know.
I think it's gold.
Something else. But so you use them all to upgrade, but then the crystals, especially, I think you need for fighting, right? So if you're low on crystals, then suddenly people know, okay, if I attack him now, he can't use this and this and this card, or this spells or whatever.
Yes.
Then you have to balance it out.
All have the same cards.
Yeah, and you have these funny moments where somebody builds a tower next to your main city. Not me.
Well, you
I wasn't there, but I heard the story.
It's just
Crazy as a fox, right?
crazy as a fox, right?
Yeah.
Make no sense.
So, this guy just built a tower next to his main city, and it's like has no point whatsoever except for making other people win.
And then got upset with me because I was building up my defense.
Yes, because you tried to burn it down. Because you can win the game. It's a 4x game. You can win by building 3 towers. You can win by destroying someone's
the 4x's.
Yeah. And then, but exploring. How do you even explore though?
No. The 4x's end the game, I think.
Yes, they just end the game, yeah. And then the points determine to win, yeah, okay. So different ways to win, and you've got the heroes, and then you're not going to bring all your heroes out because that's impossible most of the time. So you're just going to have to. Each hero has like an obvious strategy that you want to do. You want to chase.
And the transportations, you get the
birds, and they all look very nice. And they have all the expansions as well with the mercenaries and
towers.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, like I said, we'll probably talk about it more.
We will talk about it later.
The only thing that I found was a little bit disappointing was one of the expansions with the water. It's just like a thing you put on top, which kind of looks stupid. But the air one was cool. Anyway,
I kind of wish they did more expansions though.
Even more. Okay,
17.
my number. Oh yeah, and it was 16. Now it's 18. So went down 2 spots.
17.
My next one, I think you can guess. It was number 4. Then it was number 2. Now it's 17. So it was always high. No, I played it a lot at your place.
Terraforming Mars.
Ding, 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 ding. Yes, Terraforming Mars. I've got everything. I've got the crates, even the wooden crates. I've pimped it so much.
What's the numbers so far? What's the numbers?
11. I'm sure we're going to hit 15 for sure. I'm pretty sure. So
I have higher than 15. Or?
I said higher, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, higher than 15. So I have everything there, and people say these days it's bloated, and I can see that. If you want to bring someone who hasn't played the game before, I probably wouldn't bring out everything. But I pimped it so much, even the tokens are now acrylic and everything.
Did you get Venus in the end?
No.
You still haven't got Venus?
Oh, no, I did get Venus, but just for the cards.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I did get Venus. Yeah, I have everything, yeah. And problem is with all my pimping of the game, the crate looks really weird when you open it because it's not made for all the bling.
Oh, you didn't get the big box.
No, because when you had the big box, you had to buy the other stuff. You couldn't just get the box. Like you had stuff in there that rose that
And
got
you
the
really
price
bring
up.
that you game mechanic.
And I was like, I already have everything else. I just want the big box. No, you can't do that. You need to buy it and so on or whatever. So I still have the crate, but the crate looks really nice. So I have no regrets there. I think I even have a video about how I upgraded it, but I even upgraded it more since then. Although I didn't paint the rover. Did you paint the rover?
No, I need to paint everything. I haven't painted
Yeah.
it.
So I just really love it. Of course, you need Prelude to play. Of course, the name says it already. You're terraforming Mars. Yeah, there's the card drafting and also the hate drafting that goes with the game. They need to bring one more expansion, one final expansion, and that is incorporate the mosaic dials into this game, so you don't always have to count everything to make sure how much you have. Just a little dial, and I'm super happy. But it has so many cards now. You're chasing the milestones. You're chasing the
Yes.
what is the other one? The bonuses or whatever. Milestones and something else. The goals.
Yeah.
Whatever they're called. So you're chasing those together with other people. So that's a danger because if you don't really, actually, it's a race game. You want to get to those as quickly as possible. Because if you just sit back and relax, like me and my friends often do, you can play a 4-hour game easily. But if you play for real, it's for what 90 minutes. Yeah. So it depends.
Depends on expansions, yeah.
Yeah, that too.
And if you draft, would you have to?
Yes, for sure you have to draft. It's awesome. You see everything change in front of you. All the cards are cool. There's very rarely cards you think, oh, this is stupid. And then, because my problem with every game is I keep too many cards. Because in the draft, you keep them, you pay $3 per card or something, what is it? And then you still have to pay the card to actually play it. And then I'm always end up with like 10 cards and I don't have enough money.
Greedy.
Yes, very, very greedy. And yeah, the metal cubes for the money is cool. Many people say that for them Ares Expedition is better, but I don't think so at all. I think this one is still the king and will stay. I also played Ark Nova. I still think Terraforming Mars is the king. So yeah, I mean the king at 17. So
Okay.
I think we'll probably talk about it later again.
Yes, I think we will.
So that's my 17, Terraforming Mars.
My 17, it was competing with another game, which ended up a little lower. I think the reason why this one is higher than the other one, I think this game's a little bloated. And this is probably, and that's it's not totally streamlined, and that's Lords of Hellas.
Yeah.
List?
No, because I don't
You
own it. I actually want to buy it, but I don't know. I really liked it.
Did you back the new one?
No, because I didn't like it. I saw the video and I didn't. I preferred gameplay wise. I think I prefer the old one from what I saw.
I really love Lords of Hellas. I love the fact that there's 4 different ways to win. I love the theme, which is this like electronic cyberpunk type of god system. The gods come in and they brought technology and they integrated it. Or the aliens came and integrated with the gods or something. I do think hunting is a little overpowered.
Yeah, you have to really watch out that people. It's very easy to win. To win that way.
And I think that's unfortunate because I wish it was a little more balanced.
Yeah.
I think the combat system's a little clunky. The different cards and pulling the cards out.
Yeah.
But it's just fun.
It is.
It's just fun, and you got your army and you got your hero, which gives you a bit of flavor, and your hero's doing his own thing, exploring missions, and you still, but at the same time you're doing your area control battles, and it's got the kitchen sink in there, but sometimes that makes the kitchen look good, right?
And then you have like the powers, right? And then the first person can choose that's the best one, and then
you're building up the monuments.
You know how I feel about the monuments,
yes,
because I think, and that would be my house rule. If I would play,
you're destroying the monuments.
The monuments would start off built, and every time you pray, you remove a piece. At least then at the start of the game is super beautiful. And then because now when we played, sometimes it wouldn't even be one of them wouldn't even be built, or there's just be all like half monuments. And then if you painted it, it'll never come out. So that way, it's the same thing.
I get,
and it's way more beautiful.
I
That's
agree.
just my
and it's got some really cool expansions where I haven't even played half the expansions. It's got Atlantis, and it's got extra board for 5 players.
I did read that people say that the expansions are just it's like in some cases they made an expansion just to make an expansion, just to add some more stuff to it.
I don't always mind that. But
but I mean some expansions are better than others.
The best thing about the expansion was the extra characters.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah.
the extra characters, and the fact that they made it up, you can extend it to files players now, and more guards more guards to play too. That was also good.
But yeah, I agree. I really, really love the game. But when I saw the new one, I wasn't convinced that I would like that. I think
Yeah,
the previous
I
system was
backed it
better.
because I trusted Awakening Realms to
Yeah. Okay.
make it a good game. But yes, can you get hold of it? Are you trying to get hold of it?
I think you can even get it on Amazon actually, the base game, but it's kind of priced higher. I think I'm not sure. I know you couldn't buy it in the campaign because I wanted to buy the campaign to get the old one, but they didn't have it.
Yeah, I was just disappointed because I was hoping to get the player mat.
I don't think they're going to reprint it anymore,
No.
especially with the second one coming out.
True.
So yeah.
Okay, so that's my number 17.
Number 16
is Dune Imperium.
Aha! No, not crossover. I might play for the first time this weekend, but
No, yeah, what can we say about this game? Everyone knows. So we have the deck building worker placement. And why do I prefer to the other ones? To Endless Winter and Lost Ruins? I think it's the interaction, the theme, obviously the Dune theme, which I love. And it's the interaction. It's more in your face. It's a race to 10 points. So it's tense. It's got 2 really good expansions. It's got the battle system, again, the area control battle system. User cards to place your workers, and then whatever's left over in your hand, you use to buy new cards.
Okay.
So that's how the game works. That's the balance. You have your cards, you play it, you go to put your worker there. You want to thin your deck, but also you got to be careful because if you thin your deck too much, certain locations will not be available to you because you need those cards to go to those locations. Or if you get too many, you'll really be able to go there. And then you get your player powers. No, it's everything I love.
I expect to like this one a lot because I also have the base game and both expansions, and I haven't played it yet. But everything I hear about it sounds like it's completely up my alley because Lost Ruins of Arnak I was just meh. And then Endless Winter I liked. And then from what I hear from this one, I'll like it a lot.
No, it's great.
I'll play soon, and maybe next year it'll be one of the new games on my list.
And it's nothing good than it's got an integrated app, where it just adds like certain events to the game. You put the app next to it, and it's a little bit of interactivity with the app.
Have you played solo? Because you can play solo too, right? Solo's good too?
Yeah, solo's great.
I might try it tonight.
The solo really works.
Yeah?
Yeah, it does.
It's a good preparation.
I use the app.
It's a good preparation for the multiplayer game? Or it's very different?
It'll help you to work out a strategy with your characters and stuff. It will help.
Okay.
But no, it's a popular game. Same design as Clank.
Yeah.
With the deck building. But no, it ticks all the boxes.
Okay, I can't wait to try it. Finally. Me? 16? All right. It used to be 6, then 9, now 16. It went down. And you're not going to like it because it's another crossover. It is Underwater Cities. My number 16. We just talked about it, the previous lists. The reason why I like it is, like you said, you play the cards. You have to make sure the colors are the same as the location to get both bonuses. Otherwise, you only get one. Yeah. So it's very frustrating when you draw new cards and they don't match up at all.
Yes.
Everybody wants to get those special cards, the one with the S, so you can choose which one is really cool.
That's right.
Even with the mini expansion where you have like the agendas, so you can get to those first, add a little race element. I really like, so those things I didn't say on purpose last time. Yeah. I just get my mouth shut. And the upgrade, upgraded with all the Etsy stuff, the little submarines to make it cooler instead of just the cardboard pieces, the coins, the resources.
How do you finish the box?
I still have both boxes.
I can both boxes.
Yeah. Okay. Even the cities you can upgrade now, but I haven't done that though. But I didn't think they looked that nice. But just the fact you see your city grow, you have all the bonuses that you can get, and also the bonuses change every time. And with the expansion, you have even more.
When you see it grow out as you link between the corners.
Yeah. It's really, really nice. And then, like I said, the production phase when you go from broke to super rich to broke again.
I need to play more.
Yeah, especially for sure. And even the expansion, the fact that you have new assistants to start with. Yeah. Because in the beginning you just have the basic one, everyone has the same, I think, and then the
Yes.
expansion is asymmetric. So that adds a lot of it too. I like the art. Art is good. It's not super beautiful. It's not ugly. It's just fine. And just also annoying choices, which is always good. Sometimes like, should I go for the S now or should I not? Should I build a lot? But then I have no money anymore. Where am I going to get money? Even the turn order where you like the
track.
Yeah, that track. Even that, which when you first play, it's like meh, whatever. But then if you have the right cards, it can be really nice. Oh, I go up again, I get this and this and this again. Oh, so it can really combo that as well. Really, really well produced game, really well made game, and really enjoy it every time. And very easy to introduce to new people as well. Very, very straightforward technically. They might not be good at it the first time, but mechanically, it's not that difficult to understand or to get into. But anyway, we talked about it before. So Underwater Cities, I think I played that first with your place as well, right? Yeah. And then
Most of the good games you got, I introduced you to.
Well, ready for number 13? Crossover?
14.
Yeah, but the crossover number 13.
Oh.
Dag Pimp 15.
Well, it used to be 42, and now it's 15, went up 27 places, and that is The Godfather.
I knew it.
I absolutely love that game.
Another game I introduced you to.
Yes. And it helped that I almost won the game when I played at your place.
Yeah, but you
then
got sabotaged.
Our good friend sabotaged me because I didn't help him in the previous game. With a car bomb. I love the car bomb. If you've never played before, Godfather, different clans, right? You're trying to mob mafia clans. You're trying to basically dominate the city, but then you have to collect you have the cards, but you need to get the resources, right? In order to play them, and then you can say, car bomb, and then you go to one zone, and everybody who is linked to that zone dies, except for you, of course. And then suddenly those locations are all open. You can put your guys again, get majority, get the bonus, all that kind of stuff. And then everybody who dies goes into the Hudson River, which I love because some rounds it is just full of minis that are all of them. It's like, oops, it's been a bad day.
But again, I think it's a theme that makes it. You don't become that salty when people hit you.
No, well, it depends. If it's
It
for
makes sense.
if it's
Makes sense,
in the game, yes. If it's because something that happened yesterday, then it's stupid.
That's when you get it. But there's interaction, but it makes sense.
Yeah. But I played it a lot of times since with other people as well, and everybody always likes it.
Yeah, it's always popular.
Just important though when you do the rule explanation to point out the best spots on the map, because otherwise people who have played before will go there immediately, and then it already gives them an edge. But also, like you said, the cases with the money, with the hidden thing, is like, I know you got a 5 in there or whatever. Yeah, you better cough it up and stuff like that. And then every round you have the special people, the special minis that you can get. Oh, I've got the commissioner, so now I can do this or whatever.
But then you also going to keep some of the cards in your hand.
Yes,
So
exactly.
Do you want to keep the money, or do you want to keep the powers, or
Of course, you keep the car bomb.
The car bomb. Yeah,
It's too fun. It's just too fun to do the car bomb. You also have drive-by shootings and other stuff and everything. But yeah, that is The Godfather, Corleone's what?
Corleone's Empire.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
another
So
crossover.
my number 15 is it the highest? No, it's not. It's one. So it's one of my favorite genres is the dudes on the map game. And there's 2 other dudes in the map game here still to come.
Mm-hmm.
But this is probably one of the most popular ones, and that's Blood Rage.
Yeah.
I just love everything about Blood Rage. The Euro mechanics of the dice, of the drafting, card drafting, the area control, the monsters, how pretty it is, their interaction. It's smooth.
Crossover. Very smooth, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let me change my list quickly. Clue.
Monopoly.
You know, put Clue down, would you?
You know.
No, it's just. I painted the miniatures, and it just comes to life when you play this game.
Yeah.
I got everything. Simon just knows how to make these games at a price, but when you bling it out, it just feels more epic, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And this game is, it's out of all 3. I thought, but then I love all the others, but this is probably the best. I think with Ankh and Rising Sun.
Yeah, I agree because Rising Sun I didn't like at all.
You only played once, though.
Yeah, I only played once. Sure. But then of course, you know as well with the amount of games that we have and like you coming in, a lot of games you play once or twice, and then it's like, okay, I like this enough. I know people say you should play a game like 5 times or whatever, but then
with Dudes and Map games, the way these, but generally Dudes and Map or these war games, you can get hosed sometimes.
Yes, but I don't like alliances in games. Because I'm not good at alliances. I want to do stuff my own way.
Do you love Cosmic Encounters?
Oh, but that's different. That's just a one-turn alliance. I don't think it's that much of a thing then.
Yeah, so alliances, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, but then, even in what game, but again, in all Dudes and Map, you get unofficial alliances too.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's just because I didn't know the game well enough that I felt like I asserted myself good enough in that game or whatever. But even the battling, I think I just didn't get the game well enough.
Yeah,
maybe that's probably the biggest thing. But I thought it was really pretty though, super beautiful.
I think you should give it another go at a time. You might enjoy it.
Although my shelf space would say better avoid it. But
14
is probably my second oldest game here. Yeah, definitely second. Lancaster.
No, not on my list. I think it's on my really long wish list because it's a classic, right?
It's a classic, but it is so good. There's so many good ideas in this game. So you get the workers that have different strengths. It's a typical game, right? So you worker placement, and then if a guy has a stronger worker, he pushes you off. Okay, so you dedicate a worker there, you get him back, you can place it again later. And sometimes you put a worker there and you put what's it called, like stewards, what they call them, people with it to add strength to them, like extra workers to them, but then they can get knocked off later. So it's got that very interesting area control of worker placement, being able to push off the strength. They've also got this area control thing. Well, a joint co-op idea that you go to France to do a mission, but in order to do a mission, you need a certain strength.
Yeah.
You can go there and you need someone else to join you.
Yeah.
And if no one joins you, your worker's stuck there.
Uh-huh.
He's like stuck in the mission. So you're trying to get people to come and do that. They have, which is quite innovative for the time, but now it's kind of everyone copies it now, is decrees that give game altering rules. I think for points. I can't remember what it was for now. So there's like a decrees every round and you vote for it.
Yeah. Oh, like Twilight Imperium.
Like Twilight Imperium and
like agendas and
like agendas, right? But it kind of works thematically because you've got this, all these lords, right? So you're trying to influence the king to pass certain laws. So you build with influence. So it has that. It has your own personal board, your own castle, which you're building up. There's just
that sounds really good. Does it look good too?
Ish. It's not an ugly game. It's not an ugly game, but it's nowhere near compared to it. But it's an old game too.
It's older. Yeah.
It's, I don't know if you know how Queen, they type of looking games. It's like their type of game. But it's got a big box now. It's got all expansions. No, it's not an ugly game. It's pretty. I'm not going to say it's beautiful compared to some. It's competitive.
Yeah, if you show the games from now to someone 10 years ago, they'll be like,
yeah. But it's not an ugly game either.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's a game I'd highly recommend. Since what? So it's 14. It's a really good game. It's it's one of those games I'm willing to, for all these games here. I can play anytime. If I play it, I want to play it. I want to play it right now.
Okay, we're going to stop here.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind actually. No, Lancaster, great game.
Okay, number 14. I'm not sure if it's a crossover or not. I don't know if you talked about it or if it's on your list at all. Maybe it's too early. I'm a bit surprised it's this high, but actually I'm not. It's Mosaic.
No.
It was not on your list?
I haven't played it.
Oh, you haven't played it? Ah, okay, I thought you had already.
Oh, good.
So,
you think I haven't played it yet?
So, obviously it's a new entry because it's been released last year. And I love Civilization games. I used to own Sid Meier's Civilization. I really love that. I sold it during the big move and regretted it ever since because now it's super expensive. But it always took a long time as well. What I like about Mosaic is it has the whole thing, right? You start with your city somewhere, and then you have all those different actions you can do in your turn. You can build, because there's like a line of cards where you can choose, okay, I'm going to build another city, or I'm going to build a whatever. And then you have the line of technology cards, which is similar to Terraforming Mars, which has all the symbols that you want to collect as well. But then you have the Excel player boards, if you splurge for that, and they have little dials, so you don't have to worry about the symbols. You just turn the dial, and everybody knows how much you have. Very simple. And of course, all these cards give you extra actions and benefits and so on. Sometimes endgame scoring, sometimes lasting effects, sometimes one-off effects. You have on your board, you have different tracks that you will influence to get more food, more workers, and you get a military that you can put out as well. There's so many things. You can get taxes at one point as well, if I'm not mistaken. There's so many things. It looks really beautiful, but you painted it, right? Are you going to paint it?
That's why I haven't painted it. I painted first.
Okay. But the solo is really good as well. Enjoyed playing that as well. It's just what I want.
Yours?
No, I haven't painted in months because I need a holiday, like a long holiday to paint.
Okay.
If my wife doesn't fill it with other stuff. So, I don't know, maybe this summer. But I have to finish Mage Knight first. Anyway, so basically it is a card-based civilization game. A lot of options on your turn. You can spread out easily. You can get military across, even though the battles don't really happen until the end of the round, if I'm not mistaken. So you have different leaders, different asymmetric abilities. It's just fun. I've only played it solo, so I can only talk about the solo game, honestly. But solo mode already is for me enough to have it this high, because I really enjoy it.
I'm really looking forward to playing it.
Yeah. So that's my number 14.
13.
I don't know if you talked about it already. I think you have, or maybe it's coming. It used to be my number 11, then 12, and now 13. So next year will be 14. Is Western Legends.
We spoke about it.
Yeah, okay. So, crossover. I'm pretty sure we're going to top 15. It's no longer a question now. The question is just how high. So, basically sandbox again, this time in the West. So you can do whatever you want, basically. You can rob a train, you can gamble, you can go and mine, you can herd cattle, you can go and arrest outlaws, you can play, so gambling is poker, but also faro.
Yeah.
So 2 different types of poker games you can do. You can hunt bandits, defeat bandits and get rewards that way. There's also certain stories that you can try to fulfill to get points, because you're all trying to get legendary points to a certain point and win. You can go the outlaw way, and then basically rob a train or rob the bank, stuff like that. But then,
so fun.
And then with the expansion, you also have the outer, whatever it's called, not the outer rim because that's space, but the outer plains, whatever. A different area where you can
property.
The frontier. Frontier. Yeah, so you can buy property. You can also go and explore there, what's there, because it's full of. But especially for an outlaw, you can go there and run away if they want you. Because I think for an outlaw, you get points every round as long as you're an outlaw. So then, if you run, then you can do that. Have all the buildings painted. The mountain range also painted. All the guys painted, the miniatures. So that's one game that's fully painted, except for the train. I don't feel the train was necessary. So even though some people have also painted that, but it's really, really cool. The everything, the stuff you can buy at the store. Even though people say, "Oh, the mining is broken because we don't stop miners; they'll just go mine."
But you can rob them.
But you can rob them and so on. And then you have to do it, Same as with the Lords of Hellas. If you don't stop someone from killing all the monsters, then the game is over.
Yeah.
So games always have that. You need to be proactive and stop them in certain ways. And a lot of fun. And also, like I said, upgraded it many times. I remember when we played at your place the first time, we played 3 times in a row.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah. It was really, really good.
I introduced it to you, so.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, sorry.
The
number 13.
Number 13 is Ark Nova.
Wow. Okay.
No, I really do like it. Do you think it's too? Do you think?
No, I don't have it on my list.
So why you say wow?
I'm surprised it's so high. But then again, the whole world has it so high, so maybe not.
Yeah, but actually, I am cooling on it.
Yeah.
the lack of interaction is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
The wonky in-game system, but it just hits it scratches the same itch as Terraforming Mars, which is the tableau building, the cards. It is a fun game. I don't know, you also don't like it.
No, don't like it. No, not at all. I enjoyed my plays because I played it a number of times, like 6 or 7 times solo. I played it 3 or 4 times with other people, so I do have the plays under my belt. But at one point I realized it was on my shelf, and I looked at it, and I didn't want to play it. Like, it had no value for me whatsoever. I didn't have any motivation to. And then I was like, why is it on my shelf? Like, I want to look at my shelf and be like, I want to play this. And it's like, eh. And when I go, I'm like,
yeah, but
and
I
then
think the expansion's gonna be good though.
Maybe, yeah. Because I imagine if I ever bought Champions of Midgard, the base game, I might have sold it as well. But then with the expansion, it's way better. But anyway, like, even the different maps, I thought were not different enough. I was just like, okay, now I can do this. Wow, big whoop.
Yeah, I agree.
Those will change. And then the cards. It's okay. Maybe it's also the theme, It's like a zoo. I don't mind it, but I wasn't also really excited by it. I can't really say much bad about it because if you watch the videos, it's one of the most watched videos that I did. But
the combos are fun. I think the combos, again, the right combo for the cards, and I felt the solo was too punishing because too quickly.
Oh yeah, that's
way
true.
Too fast.
That's true.
And the other problem when you play with another person, you shouldn't play more than 2 because there's
too long.
There's so little interaction. There's no point playing more than 2.
Yeah.
But even when you play with 2, if the other person, like our mutual friend, who might have a great start, you sit there halfway and you realize
it's over.
It's over. I can't stop him. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
It's literally we're playing 2 separate games, and he's gonna. I'm having really a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm having fun. I'm actually playing quite well. Yeah. But he's going into another gear, and what's the point?
Yeah.
So there are problems with the games that way.
Yeah.
But it is a well-designed fun game.
Well, yeah, because it takes a bunch of stuff from other games and puts it together.
Well, most games do that.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, design, sure, yeah, but. Like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with the game. It just has to click, right?
No, and I think I'm hoping for the expansions or just more to it. But what it offers, I think it's a great package, and that's why it's not 13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I can't say anything bad about it. It's just like I didn't have, it didn't have staying power for me personally. That's all.
12.
Would definitely have been maybe even 1 once upon a time. But now it's a game I can really get to play. I wish I could play it more. And that's a Game of Thrones.
A Game of Thrones.
The
big one, right? The second
game.
Edition or something, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. With the expansion or without expansion?
Both.
Okay.
I covered all of them.
Yeah.
It's just, it's so epic. It's such an epic game. I love the book series. I've read it 3 times. I read the first book when I was in high school. That's how long it's been taking to finish the damn things. But when I play it, I feel like I'm in that world. It's got the huge map of Westeros.
Mm-hmm.
You've got all the factions, you've got the cards, and you've got the alliances. It's like diplomacy. So you need the time, you get the backstabbing, you get the scheming, and you get the betrayals, and you lift the card. Only can only be one winner, even though you make an alliance all the time. You still know there can only be one winner.
Yeah.
And it just takes too long.
And then also, of course, the different people. Like some people will be the Raven, depending on the tracks.
Yes, and you got the voting track.
Yes.
The votes, you get different powers because there's 3 different types of powers.
Yeah.
You get the Raven, you get the sword. You play the game.
Yeah. A couple of times. I even owned it, but in the end I sold it because I couldn't get it to the table enough.
Me too. But I'll never get rid of it because
of the whole thing.
Because it's such an awesome game, and part of me always says, I'll get to play it one day. And when I get to play one day with all 8 players now, it'll be awesome.
Epic. Yeah, for sure.
But again, it just tells stories. And it's deterministic. There's no luck involved. So they've got a card play.
What are they called again? The guys from the sea?
The Greyjoys.
The Greyjoys. I played the Greyjoy one game, and I sailed all the way around and then attacked someone in the back, which they didn't expect for some reason. And it was really awesome.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's the app for it.
Yeah.
which is good. But the app, the AI, it's difficult. You can't really do them.
Yeah. Of
You
course,
can't do
yeah.
the alliances and the backstabbing with AI.
You can't really replace a person.
No, you can't. But as I said, all those things involved, like it's just diplomacy in this world. You can't beat it. It's just one of the best games ever.
Especially if people role play.
Yes, and you end up doing
Yeah.
it, right? You
Yeah.
also with the lions and and the expansion with the Targaryens now, and she's trying to go her dragons. So it's kind of a race because if the game takes too long, her dragons are going to become super powerful. So
because they grow older. Right?
yes, and they get bigger.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's a good game.
it's a great game. So yeah, that's my number 12.
My number 12 is definitely not on your list, so no worries. It used to be number 19, now it's 12,
Mm-hmm.
and it is Dice Throne Adventures. So Dice Throne in itself is not on my list, I don't think so, because I just think it's an okay dice battler. It looks really pretty, but once you get past the prettiness, I think it's just okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then Dice Throne Adventures, because I always said, even before they released Dice Throne Adventures, that I wanted to have this in a system where you can just build your character and just go through a whole series of adventures, and then they released that exactly. And it's just cool. It's so pretty. You basically, instead of just fighting each other, then fight a bunch of minions who can also vary in difficulty. And then it's like that's the portal phase. Once you at the end of the portal, you have another mini boss, I think. And then when you get the 3 parts of the die, because that's to form the portal, and it looks a bit like cheese. I always think it's cheese, but whatever. And then once you finish it, the game will that section will end. But then the next mission is one of the boss. So one of the characters has gone corrupted, right? So you fight that one, and there's another portal, so another boss, another portal, and all the way until you reach the Mad King and defeat that one. So what I like about it is, first of all, it's super beautiful, like I said already, but all the variety of minions that you fight, and it's constantly the dice fighting system with the cards, because you always have certain CP, so combat points that you spend, and you spend them on playing cards or using the cards to alter your dice when you roll them. So your board is basically getting built up. Something people don't like is when you finish a portal mission and you go to the next one, your board is wiped. So the upgrades you had, they are gone. But at the end of the portal phase, you do all the loot that you picked up, you can then discover and add to your deck.
Okay.
Because like Diablo, loot will drop and it will be unidentified. So you find Deckard Cain, not him, but it's like a loot shop. Or just if you find loot, they say roll a die, and then the number will decide on how rare it is. And then you just upgrade your deck basically as you go on. And even if you lose, they'll give you solves, so basically healing solves that you can then use to try again. So, and then it doesn't take that long for the portal missions, they take longer, but the boss missions, they're not that long, so it's easy to redo. Okay. So basically you can just always finish. It just depends on how often.
So there's no campaign?
There's a campaign. That's basically the campaign. The portal mission is like a whole map that you go through.
Okay, but there's no overarching storyline.
Well, the story is just all those major characters got corrupted and you have to go through them. But there's no storybook or whatever. Okay. So it's like so in that way. But I just like everything about it. It's so overproduced. It's so nice. It even has minis that, of course, I haven't painted yet. But yeah, I love the loot system. It's not easy, but I don't care.
That's cool.
So that's my number 12.
Number 11.
Will also not be on your list, so it's also good news. That is Role Player Adventures. So Role Player is also not on my list. I don't think I talked about it, right? I don't think it's on there. Because same thing. Like I always liked Role Player, but I always wanted to have it in.
Yeah.
I wanted.
You created this character, now I want this character.
Yes, and then actually I used my character, put it into Role Player Adventures, and it was really difficult. And people said, yeah, actually you shouldn't, because it's not balanced that way. You should follow the rules. And I said, no, you can do it, so I'm going to do it. Yeah. And then in the end, it balances out, because you, of course, adjust to what you need, and it's fine. I didn't fail.
This is the campaign.
Yes, this is the campaign, with stories and everything. No, I think I had like 4 or 5 missions. I started making videos about it, but as usual, people watch the first one, and then it peters off. So then I was like, okay, I'm just going to continue playing for myself. Yeah. And then at one point, too much new stuff came on. I needed shelf space, so it went into storage. But I backed the expansion. It's coming with more stories. And I actually just want to play it again for different endings, because you have different endings as well. Like you can support certain factions and then with tracks and everything. And those same art that you have in Role Player, that also comes back the same type of cards. You still roll dice during a battle, and even if you have to do like certain skill checks, you have a little book that you go through. Okay, now I have to steal. Okay, this is steal. This is the difficulty level I need. Roll dice,
Cool.
and then edit it again and adjust it again, and it's just cool. And of course, you can also role play and say, okay, now my robot person, because I had like a robot style person, can now do this and stuff like that. So yeah, I really enjoy it. The writing is pretty good. It also has side missions, booklets to do that. Also had an extra expansion where, just like Tainted Grail, your character has like a backstory, and that keeps going on as well, that personal story throughout. So yeah, I really, really enjoy that.
That's
It's
good.
role player adventures.
Okay. My number 11 is The Great Wall.
Ah, yeah, I'm so sad I didn't do the reprint.
Oh,
People
So
keep
good.
saying, but it's so big though. It's a lot of storage, no?
it is, but that's Awakened Realms. It's part of its charm. It's big, it's overproduced, but who cares? It's got beautiful minis that you don't need. It's got a giant. You literally make a giant wall there,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's a semi co-op where you got to work together to keep the wall.
Where's the late pledge?
Do it. No, it's a semi cool thing. You've got the worker placement, and the different workers go different places. You got your soldiers on the wall,
Yeah.
and you get your, if I remember correctly, you get your cards that give you powers, and you get the other ones that you put them in and you slip underneath to make them more powerful, or you keep the powers. It's just, I can't remember all the details, but I remember it's just epic. It's a worker placement game that just has scale and theme.
Literally.
Literally. And maybe I'm superficial, but
Basically-
it's a good game as well.
You can have a Great Wall themed day.
Yeah, could
You
actually.
can play Gugong, Sango, was it? and then
Zango
the
some
Great Wall.
afterwards. I'll play all of them, yeah. I actually do want to play them all now. Great Wall, I want to play again. But it is big, and they've got the expansions too. It's again like everything else Awakened Realms. It's got a lot of rough edges.
Mm-hmm.
It just adds to its epicness, right? Even this worker placement, that it's one of the few. It's the last company you imagine to make a worker placement, right? They made it with all its miniatures and all its epic beauty, and
I think designers at this point just go to Awakened Realms and say, look, I have this game, and you can bling it out as much as you want. Deal. Let's do it.
Castles of Burgundy. Who thought that?
Yeah. So
No, but I highly recommend. Have you had a chance to play it then?
no, not yet.
No, I recommend.
But I think we can say Awakened Realms is the Pimp My Ride of the board game industry.
Yes, and they probably them and Seymour on the highest one
Yeah.
on list. But yeah, okay, great wall.
Okay. That's the end of this video, 2211. Remember, next video, we have the big reveal, surprise. All right. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
See you next time. Bye.